1.
All right, we ready to go?
All right. Yeah, it looks like Facebook is up and running. YouTube is not. Might be having issues with them again, but okay. All right. Yeah, but yes, Facebook is up and running.
Okay, with that, we will go ahead and call the August 19, 2020 APC public hearing to order. First item is for Zach to call roll.
All right, when I call your name, please signify whether you're present. Jackson Bogan.
Here.
Larry Leverins.
Here.
Roland Winger.
Here.
Gary Schroeder.
Here.
Greg Jones.
Here.
Jake Gray. Jake Gray. Diana Looper. Diana Looper. Vicky Pearl.
Here.
Michelle Dennis.
Here.
Tom Murtaugh.
Present.
Harry Brown.
Here.
Tracy Brown.
Here.
Carl Griffin.
I'm here.
Lisa Dullum.
Here.
Kathy Parker.
Here.
Carla Snodgrass.
Here.
And we do have a quorum.
Jerry Reynolds is here.
And it does appear as Jake Gray has entered as well.
Yes, Zach, I'm here.
And Zach,
Gotcha.
Diana is in the Tippecanoe room. I'm not sure if she can hear you, but she is in the Tippecanoe room.
I'm sorry, Tom. Who was that?
Diana.
Diana's here. Okay.
And can we clarify which one of Diana's emails has the link to the ballots?
Yes, that's the one Tuesday. So that would have been on Tuesday the 18th, came in at 11:19 a.m. and you have to scroll to the bottom.
Thank you very much.
With that, we will move on to the briefing session.
Couple of disruptions to the schedule here. I believe we have a third revision to the agenda tonight. We had the resolution PD 2007 added to the agenda. Rezoning case Z 2798 West Lafayette Public Library has been continued to the October 21st hearing at petitioner's request. That is their first continuance. And rezoning case Z 2799 Stents LNHS LLC has been withdrawn by the petitioner. Everything else should be checked in and ready to be heard.
Thank you, Ryan. On to the approval of the minutes.
I move we approve the minutes from the July 15th, 2020 meeting as submitted.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.
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 All opposed? That motion carries. On to new business.
I move to hear and approve resolution PD 20-07.
I second.
Ryan?
Okay. Well, if this looks familiar, it should be. It's only been a month. basically what happened here is the 30-day recordation requirement in the ordinance was not fulfilled in time. Petitioner was pulling together their bonding as well as their drawing files that are required for the auditor. So they just missed the deadline, and per the ordinance, they have to be reapproved in order to be able to record again. So nothing materially has changed with the submission. The final plats for phase 1 and the final plats for phase 2 part 1 are still the same as you saw last month. No changes there. So they are ready to go now. Their bonding has been submitted and accepted by our office, and the drawing files that are required have been sent to the auditor. So once we get an approval resolution here and it's signed, we'll be clear to record as early as tomorrow. But then the 30-day clock will start starting tomorrow, and then they'll be able to tidy this up. Once it's recorded, they'll be able to get building permits to go vertical on these lots. And if you've been out there, there's been a lot of clearing and grading and infrastructure work done per the construction plans. So they, I'm sure, are excited to start going vertical on this project. So nothing else to report. So I'm recommending approval of resolution PD 2007.
Thank you, Ryan. Would the petitioner or petitioner's representative like to make a presentation or comment? I will take the silence as a no. With that, Ryan, we'll give it 1 minute for citizens' comments. If you'd let us know at that point if you have had any.
All right, stand by. Okay, we have no comment on Facebook or YouTube on this item.
Zach, if you'd call for the vote, please.
All right, when
And
I call
I'm
your name,
sorry,
please
before-
signify your vote.
Give me 1 minute.
Go ahead.
Would any of the commissioners commission members like to comment on this? My apologies. Hearing none. Now, Zach, would you please call for the vote?
When I call your name, please signify your vote with approve or deny. Jackson Bogan,
Approve.
Larry Leverins,
Approve.
Ron Winger,
Approve.
Gary Schroeder,
Approve.
Gary Reynolds,
Approve.
Greg Jones,
Approve.
Jake Gray,
Approve.
Diana Looper,
Approve.
Vicky Pearl,
Approved.
Michelle Dennis,
Approve.
Tom Murtaugh,
Approve.
Harry Brown,
Approve.
Tracy Brown,
Approve.
Carl Griffin,
Approve.
Lisa Dellum,
Approve.
Kathy Parker,
Approve.
Carla Snodgrass.
Approve.
There's 17 votes in favor, and now you should have a ballot in your Tuesday email. If you could please fill those out, and Don will let us know when he has them.
Well, we have 16 responses, 17 responses just now, all for approval.
Thank you, Don. I will now move on to the public hearing portion where I will read a riveting statement that you have all been waiting for. For those of you unfamiliar with the with our procedures, the commission would like you to know the following. When we hear a request to subdivide land, we are only concerned as to whether the actual drawing showing the division into lots meets the technical requirements of our ordinance. The question of appropriateness has already been determined. Anyone wishing to make comments or provide us with information regarding any subdivision petitions will be given the opportunity to do so. When we were hearing a request for a change in zoning, we were trying to determine if the new zone being requested and the uses allowed in that zone are appropriate to that property and supported by the comprehensive plan. With each case being heard, our staff will present its report. Then the person requesting the rezone will be given the opportunity to speak. Following that, those of you wishing to speak in favor of the rezone will be recognized, and then those of you who wish to oppose it will have a turn. This will be your only time to speak. The person requesting the action will be allowed a rebuttal. Plan Commission members will then ask questions and finally vote. Please limit your statements to no more than 5 minutes. We ask that you not repeat what others before you have already said or typed. We are a 17-member body, and the majority of 17 is 9. Regardless of how many commission members are actually present, at least 9 votes in favor and 9 votes against are required for our action to be official. If fewer than 9 of us agree to either approve or disapprove an action, that case must be heard again next month. Our vote on a request to subdivide is final. Our vote on a request to rezone serves as a recommendation of the appropriate city council, town council, or county commissioners, who must ultimately decide on changes in zoning. When addressing the commission, please state your name and address for the record. Cell phones must be turned off while meeting in session. If you need to make a call, please step out of the virtual room before using your phone. All exhibits presented to the commission become the property of the commission.
I move that there be incorporated into the public hearing portion of each application to be heard this evening and to become part of the evidence at such hearing, the Unified Zoning Ordinance, the Unified Subdivision Ordinance, the Comprehensive Plan, the bylaws of the Area Plan Commission, the application and all documents filed therewith, the staff report and recommendations on the application to be heard this evening, and responses from checkpoint agencies.
I second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All opposed? That motion carries.
If you're ready for the continuance,
Yes, sir.
I move to continue Z 2798, West Lafayette Public Library Incorporation, Anastasia Kurtulis, West Lafayette Public Library PD, PDNR to PDNR to the October 21st, 2020 Area Plan Commission meeting.
I second.
All in favor? Aye.
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 All opposed? That motion carries. On to ordinance amendments.
I move to hear and approve UZO Amendment Number 97, Business Park and Gateway Directory Signs.
I second.
Kathy?
Okay, so you all probably remember we talked about this last month. Ordinance Committee has been discussing this for several months, but last month at Area Plan Commission meeting, we had 2 proposals. One proposed amendment was the original proposal that staff had created, and the second one was what Ordinance Committee had passed. That was at the July Ordinance Committee meeting. And at that meeting, the Ordinance Committee had eliminated several of the changes that staff had proposed. I think Ordinance Committee felt like staff took it too far with eliminating freestanding signage, basically. So anyway, those 2 proposals were on the agenda last month, where you guys voted to table it and take it back to Ordinance Committee for further discussion. So at the August Ordinance Committee meeting, we did discuss it. Staff created a compromise amendment, and we basically put back some of the freestanding signage that we had taken out of the original proposal, so it's not as restrictive as it was. So so that amendment passed Ordinance Committee. We have a recommendation of approval from Lafayette and West Lafayette. and staff is recommending approval. Oh, there you go.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. Do we have any question, or actually, excuse me, would anyone wishing to speak from West Lafayette or the developer of Sagamore Commons? Hearing none, I'll take that as a no. Any questions from the commission on this? Okay. Ryan, we'll go ahead and wait for that minute. If we haven't had any citizens' comments, we'll give it a minute, stare at each other, and wait for that.
Okay, stand by. And we have no comment on this item.
All right, Zach, would you please call roll?
All right, when I call your name, please signify your vote with approve or deny. Jackson Bogan,
Approve.
Larry Leverance,
Approve.
Roland Winger, hey, you're on
Approve.
mute. Thanks, sir. Gary Schroeder,
Approve.
Jerry Reynolds,
Approved.
Greg Jones,
Approve.
Dick Gregg,
Approve.
Diana Looper,
Approve.
Vicky Pearl,
Approve.
Michelle Dennis,
Approve.
Tom Murtaugh,
Approve.
Harry Brown,
Approve.
Tracy Brown,
Approve.
Carl Griffin,
Approve.
Lisa Dunlap,
Approve.
Kathy Parker,
Approve.
Carlos Snodgrass.
Approve.
And the vote is 17 votes in favor, no votes against. You also have a ballot on that item. And Don, please let us know when you get them.
Will do. We're almost there. We have 15. $16.
Zach, having 16, are we able to move on and collect the last one later?
I'll leave it open.
Yeah, Don will leave it open if anybody's
They're all for
having
approval.
an issue.
Thank you much. Moving on to item B, subdivisions.
I move to hear and vote on S 4930, Elston Acres minor subdivision, minor sketch.
I second.
Kathy?
Petitioner's property is located on the northwest corner of Old Romney Road and Elston Road. It's 0.686 acres in size. You can see this shows it zone general business. That was changed. Lafayette City Council actually voted on this August 3rd, I believe. So this is now zoned R1B. We just haven't had a chance to update our zoning maps yet. Okay, there we go. Here's the aerial photograph and a closer look. You can see there are 2 existing houses on the property. The purpose of subdividing is just to have each house have its own lot, basically. Here's a look at the sketch plan. You can see the 2 houses. According to the Lafayette Engineer's Office, they have no issue with maintaining the existing access points. Regarding utilities, they have no comments. Sewer and water are available directly to both lots. There are 3 conditions of approval, and staff is recommending conditional primary approval.
Wonderful. Does petitioner's representative want to make a presentation or have any comments?
Yes, my name is Steve Hobby. I live at 1129 Ocala Avenue in Lafayette, Indiana. The primary reason to separate these lots after owning this property for many years is I want to sell at least one of the houses, and it came to my attention that a buyer would have trouble getting conventional financing, being that there's 2 houses on one lot. So that's the main impotence of me asking for the subdivision. But I have no further comments unless there's any questions.
Thank you very much. Commission members have any comments, questions? We will give it a 1-minute pause. Ryan, if you'd let us know if there are any comments.
Okay, stand by.
Stand by. I'll be off in time. Pardon me?
No, we have no comment on this item.
Wonderful. Zach?
When I call your name, please signify your vote. Jackson Bogan.
Approve.
Larry Leverance.
Approve.
Ron Winger.
Approve.
Gary Schroeder.
Approve.
Jerry Reynolds.
Approved.
Greg Jones.
Approve.
Jake Gray.
Approve.
Diana Looper.
Approve.
Vicky Pearl.
Approve.
Michelle Dennis.
Approve.
Tom Murtaugh.
Approve.
Harry Brown.
Approve.
Tracy Brown.
Approve.
Carl Griffin.
Approve.
Lisa Dellum.
Approve.
Kathy Parker.
Approve.
Carla Snodgrass.
Approve.
17 votes in favor, no votes against. Please fill out your written ballot on this one. And Don, if you could let us know when you get them.
Will do.
Hey, Zach, quick point of clarification. Do we need to state that we are approving conditional primary approval on the voice vote, or is doing that?
As long as it
in-
was in the motion and it's in the record, I think we're okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
We're almost there. We have 16. Well, we have 16 responses, all for conditional approval. I'll leave this one open as well.
Wonderful. We'll move to S4931.
I move to hear and vote on S 4931, Paramount Minor Subdivision, minor sketch.
I second.
Don?
Okay, this is Paramount Minor that is located in the same area of all the other Paramount land divisions. This originally, I think it was called Lakeshore, but they've renamed it. The purpose of dividing this land into 2 lots is the owner wants to simply be able to split the eastern half off for a multifamily subdivision that we actually have had submitted with a major sketch plan application back in January. The owner just simply wants to be able to have a sellable lot before the developer is able to finish his multifamily subdivision plans. Property is zoned R3, as is land to the north and to the east. Land to the south is general business for the shopping center. There is floodplain in the neighborhood to the southwest. To the west is also in B zoning. We'll be seeing later on in our agenda a proposed rezone from MB to R3 for another apartment complex. But staff simply has a recommendation for conditional primary approval for a standard number of conditions.
Thank you, Don. Petitioner's representative, would you like to speak, present?
Yeah, this is Justin Frazier with T-Bird Design Services, representing Jordan Holmes, the petitioner for this project. I don't really have a presentation, but just letting you know that I'm here if there's questions. I did read through the staff report, don't have any objections to the conditions in there, all standard stuff. So I guess we are requesting your conditional primary approval. And like I said, if you have any questions, I'm here.
Thank you, Mr. Frazier. Do we have any questions or comments from the commission? With that, we'll take that 1-minute pause so we can all look at each other. And Ryan, if you'd let us know.
I will. And no comment on this item.
Thank you, Ryan. Zach?
When I call your name, please signify your vote. Jackson Bogan.
Approve.
Larry Leverins.
Approve.
Ron Winger,
Approve.
Gary Schroeder,
Approve.
Jerry Reynolds,
Approved.
Greg Jones,
Approve.
Jake Gray,
Approve.
Diana Looper,
Approve.
Vicky Pearl,
Approved.
Michelle Dennis,
Approved.
Tom Murtaugh,
Approve.
Perry Brown,
Approve.
Tracy Brown,
Approve.
Carl Griffin,
Approve.
Lisa Dellum,
She's having computer issues. She's trying to reboot and get back in.
okay. If Lisa comes back in, she can let us know. Otherwise, we'll mark her as an abstain on this one. Kathy Parker,
Approved.
Carla Snodgrass,
Approve.
16 votes in favor.
Lisa,
You have a ballot on this.
you're back.
Just put us abstain. I just got back in.
Thank you.
So far, I've got 12 responses. 13. We have 16 responses, all for conditional approval.
Thank you, Don. S4932. Gary, if you're talking, we can't hear you.
Well, we just did 4932, I think. Are we ready for Z2800?
Oh, I thank you, sir.
No problem.
Wait.
Okay.
We didn't, we're on 4932.
No,
across
we're on
the common.
4932 now.
My apologies. I move to hear and vote on S4932, Crosser Commons minor subdivision, minor sketch. My apologies.
I second.
No worries, Don.
Yeah, Crosser Commons is on Powderhouse Lane on the southwest part of Lafayette. It is just north of Walker Court intersection. These two lots are were originally platted with 8 lots from the Crosser Commons plan development that actually has been since abandoned. The land to the northeast has been developed now as a Lafayette City Park called Crosser Sports Complex. And you can see through the zoning and the aerial there that we got some ball diamonds. But these two lots, basically the idea is just to reconfigure. One is a smaller, skinnier lot. The other is a larger lot, the southern lot. There is an existing house on that lot that's going to go away. They want to reconfigure this land into 2 lots, but also have about 40 feet, a 40-foot wide strip, outlot A, you can see on the sketch plan, that will actually be deeded to the park. So that's the purpose of this. These 2 lots are intended to be, we actually had a rezone from PDRS plan development residential to R1 A or R1B just about 2 months ago, I think. And those lots will be developed by Habitat for Humanity. And we recommend a conditional approval.
Thanks, Don. Petitioner's representative, like to make a comment or present anything?
Yeah, Matt Holden with Star Associates. I'm kind of here on behalf of Todd Starr. He's away tonight, so I'll be taking any questions.
Thank you very much, Mr. Holden. Commission members, any comments, questions? Ryan, we'll wait for that 1 minute pause.
Okay, stand by. And we have no comment on this item.
Wonderful. Zach?
All right, when I call your name, please signify your vote. Jackson Bogan.
Approved.
Larry Leverins.
Approve.
Ron Winger.
Approve.
Gary Schroeder.
Approve.
Jerry Reynolds.
Approved.
Greg Jones.
Approve.
Jake Gray.
Approve.
Diana Looper.
Approved.
Vicky Pearl.
Approved.
Michelle Dennis. Tom Murtaugh.
Approve.
Perry Brown.
Approve.
Tracy Brown.
Approve.
Carl Griffin.
Approve.
Lisa Dellum.
Approve.
Kathy Parker.
Approve.
Carla Snodgrass.
Approve.
17 votes in favor. Please fill out your ballots and Don will let us know when he gets them.
We have 17 responses, all for conditional. Oh, I'm sorry, one for approval and one for conditional approval. And of the rest are for conditional approval. So somebody voted on approval, but the rest for conditional approval, that's the majority. So that's what we've got.
So we have 16 conditional approval, 1 approval. Okay,
Yeah.
Very well then. On to rezoning activities.
I move to hear and approve Z 2800, Joshua Shivers A to GB.
I second.
Ryan?
Okay, go ahead and bring up our report there. There we go. As you can see, we're here on the kind of the southeast or southwest part of the county, bordering the town of Shadeland. The site was subdivided. Whoa, getting some feedback here. Let me go ahead and mute myself. All right. The property was subdivided in 2008, and prior to that subdivision, there was a house and a vet clinic were located on one lot, so that subdivision action fixed that problem. The vet clinic is a permitted use in the A zone. As you can see, we've got A zoning everywhere. Shadeland has their own zoning. They're outside of APC, so not really sure what they're zoned over there. Landscaping, in terms of area land uses, the vet clinic, the building's still there and it still has a vet clinic. As far as I know, the remnants of it there. Landscaping business is located to the east in Shadeland, as well as several homes, as you can see from the aerial there. And most of the uses in the vicinity are all ag related or residential primarily. And of course, we have railroad tracks immediately to the north of the site. The current building on site, we can go ahead and zoom in, I guess, on the next one there, does meet all the requirements, required setbacks based on the aerial parcel data in terms of its location on the lot. If rezoned, a type B 20-foot buffer yard is required where GB zoning abuts the A zone land, as you can see to the west. Sewer and water are not available at this location, which is one of our primary concerns in our recommendation. The health department reports that the site does have an on-site septic sufficient for a few employees, for, just bathrooms for the veterinarian clinic primarily is what it was designed for. In terms of our comments, obviously we have a long-standing policy of not upzoning to commercial on areas of the community that are off water and sewer. And so immediately this petition fails in that regard. Again, with GB zoning, as we've reiterated many times in similar petitions, there's really no guarantees here. The proposed use is for a ATV type dealership on this site, selling those recreational utility vehicles. But there could be a lot of different sorts of uses that could be allowed in the GB zone that the neighbors may not like. And so with no guarantees, no commitment in place, and the fact that it is off the sewer and water grid, staff is recommending denial. There are a host of business uses permitted in the business zone, as the vet use is obviously one of them, a lot of agricultural related businesses. But this does fail the test in staff's mind. So again, we are recommending denial. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Would the petitioner's representative like to comment on this?
Hi, my name is Josh Shives, and I live at 1910 West 450 South, Lafayette 47909. I am looking to sell used ATVs and UTVs on the site and capture some of the traffic that heads towards the Badlands Off-Road Park. It's a pretty busy road, lots of visibility on the lot. We're trying to capitalize on that. There's been multiple people that have tried to buy the building previous to me, and all of it have been limited by use, and they have not proceeded with the sale. So I'm trying to take a building that's been sitting empty since 2013 and make use of it. So I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Shives. Are there any questions from the commission members? Josh, I have one. Is there any reason for no commitment on this?
If I don't get the zoning, I'll be reapplying for a commitment. This is my first time doing it. I did it myself. So maybe that is the right mentality of taking it, but this is what I tried for to check the boxes of what the ordinance requires for me to sell ATVs. So.
Okay, thank you.
And Josh, Tom Murtaugh here. You and I had spoken about this, and you had mentioned that the neighbors were supportive of this request. And I don't know, maybe some neighbors are going to be speaking during public comment, or maybe have submitted letters. But is that still the case that you have spoken to the surrounding property owners?
Yeah, I've spoken to a couple of them that I've been able to meet and talk to. I haven't talked to the forestry people that are across the road, and I haven't talked to the owner of the field behind me. But to the east, that house, he doesn't care, to my knowledge, at all. And to the west, when I bought the building, I was under the impression she didn't care. It was the former owner's relative of some sort, and I talked to her yesterday, in fact, and she does have some concerns about future use of what would happen after that. But if I were to sell the building, or if my business were to fail or something like that.
Any questions? Any more questions? Zach, is there a way to, and this might be because a commitment is a legal document, we probably can't do something on the fly, can we?
No, and it per our bylaws, it has to be submitted. And I can't give Mr. Shives legal advice, but that is something that can limit, some of the proposed uses, at least on the property. But no, we wouldn't be able to draft that here. We would have to take it back to the drawing board.
Okay.
I have a question for staff. It's Vicky. So was this something that we would have talked to him about when he initially submitted the request, that to possibly look at some commitments, or we just let it go and then, because it's going to cost him money to come back, right?
No, he
Right.
could, well, I took this case in, so I can answer your question, I think. I don't believe Mr. Shives talked to staff before he submitted his rezoning. He had all his paperwork together and I took it in. So we don't generally give advice at that stage. If he had talked to us previously, I think we might have suggested that a commitment would be a good idea. But at this point, he could continue to next month. He wouldn't be out any money. He'd just be out a month.
Mr. Shives, under that, are you under time constraints for this?
Not necessarily. I'm waiting to refinance the building until after I get it zoned how I want it, or the way I want it, I guess. So yeah, I mean, money constraints a little bit, but not necessarily like super eager timeline now.
So so pushing this back 30 days, if we ask for a continuance and maybe some form of a commitment, and maybe you can work with, well, I don't know, can staff assist in drawing up a commitment, or does that need to be done by an attorney?
No, I don't think it has to be done by an attorney. We've got a boilerplate of what a commitment looks like, so we could help him with that to some extent.
Mr. Shives, do you understand what a commitment is?
Yeah, it just means I won't. I'm making a commitment not to operate, a gas station or something like, or a list of items, possibly, depending on what we put on there.
And is that something that you would be comfortable with?
If that's what it takes to get done. I mean, I'd rather just have the zoning passed, but I mean, if that's what it takes to get to that point, then sure, yes.
And
can I ask a question real quick? Sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
John Burns, can you hear me? I'm really wondering if is there a $100 filing fee with a commitment, or is it nothing? No fee. I don't remember. I can't hear you, John.
I'll repeat what John says.
Thank you, Don.
Are you saying anything, John? $100 per commitment.
Okay. So I said previously that it wouldn't cost anything extra. There is a $100 fee. So
ultimately, Zach, I believe this is up to the petitioner whether it wants to be continued or not, correct?
Right, and that was the point I was going to make. Mr. Shives, this is your petition, so you can make the decision. If you want to vote on it tonight, they'll vote, and if there's enough votes to pass it on, then it will go to the next stage. I believe this is up in the county. You could also make the decision. Nobody can force you. You could make the decision to ask for a continuance and to push it out a month so that you could look into this commitment process before there's a vote.
But if there's a vote, then, and if that vote's denial, then it cannot be refiled for a year, correct?
That's correct.
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
A vote by the county commissioners.
Right.
Okay.
So if there's a vote by the county commissioners, then it can't be filed for a year, but not tonight.
If there's a denial by the county commissioners. So if you proceed with the vote tonight and it's denial, it can go before the county commissioners and it can be either approved or denied at that level. But if it's denied at the county commissioners, it can't be refiled for a year.
Okay. I guess I will push till the month then.
So just to clarify, you are asking for a continuance?
I believe that's my best interest at the moment, is to ask for the continuance. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Can someone make that motion for Mr. Shives?
Yes, I will do. I move that we continue Z 2800 Joshua Schweives A to GB to the next Area Plan Commission meeting.
I second.
All in favor, signify by aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That motion carries, and then that petition is continued until the next meeting. Thank you for your understanding, Mr. Shives, and appreciate that. And I would encourage you to get with staff to draft such. And Kathy, if you have his email, if you could reach out to him so that we
Sure
can get
will.
everybody together. Great, thank you. And we are on to Wallach Communities.
I move to hear and approve Z 2801 Wallach Communities NB to R3.
I second.
Petitioner's property is located on the west side of Paramount Drive. This is the second time we've been in this area tonight. We heard Paramount Minor Subdivision right over here. So this is currently zoned NB, neighborhood business. Floodplain is adjacent to the west, and there's R3 zoning north and to the east. Here's a look at the aerial photograph. You can see there's apartments to the north and east, apartments to the south across Sagamore Parkway, duplexes to the northeast. And this subdivision is going to result in more apartments in this area. And the mobile home park is here to the west across the floodplain area. Here's a closer look at the aerial. You can see there's an existing stormwater basin right here. And here's a look at the non-binding site plan that was submitted with the rezone request. Again, you can see that storage basin for drainage. There are 4 buildings proposed, although this building is a clubhouse. So it would be for a total of 60 low-income units, 6 one-bedroom, 27 two-bedroom, and 27 three-bedroom. City Bus has a route that stops right here at the corner of Pacific Drive and Paramount, right opposite the opening, the driveway into this property. American Suburban Utilities and Indiana American Water both serve the site. So basically staff's opinion is there's a lot of apartments out in this area. This one more development's not going to hurt. It's got sewer and water. It's on a city bus line, and staff is recommending approval.
Wonderful. Thank you, Kathy. Does petitioner's representative want to speak on this?
Yes, good evening, Area Plan Commission members. Thank you so much for considering our rezoning request. My name is Joe Hall. I am with Wallach Communities. Just wanted to give a brief background on who Wallach is this evening, touch on some of the key points of the proposed development, give a idea of what our timeline is, and then certainly take comments and questions that are available at the end. And I'll try to work to keep my statements brief. Again, I am Joe Hall. My address is 160 West Main Street, New Albany, Ohio, 43054. Just to give you, again, a background on Wallach briefly. Wallach was formed in 1966. We're an organization that's over 50 years old. We're headquartered in Columbus, Ohio. We are a privately owned firm, second generation ownership of son and daughter, along with our CEO, who has been CEO for 15 years. We are a full service real estate company. We do development. We do general contracting, working with local subcontractors. We are our own property managers, and we are long-term owners. As has been stated, our major platform of operation is affordable housing. We do both family and senior. This property here we are proposing today is family or general occupancy. We're not proposing student housing. We're not proposing senior. Again, we're proposing general occupancy for your consideration today. To give a little bit of a background on where Wallach does business, we are a Midwest company. We service 9 Midwest states, predominantly Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana. In our portfolio, we have about 170 properties. Of those, 70% we do own and manage ourselves. The other 30% we manage for others. That does equate to about 13,000 residential units of both family and senior. Within the state of Indiana, we have 14 properties scattered throughout the state. The closest to this location would be Indianapolis and Logansport. But those are close enough to give us scale from a management perspective to be able to manage the property to the best of our ability and feel proud of that effort. As was referenced, we are pursuing financing for this site through the rental tax credit program that IHCDA oversees for federal tax credits. Just to give a brief overview of that, really, upon an award of tax credits from IHCDA, we would work with an intermediary or a syndicator to sell those credits, most likely to a large financial institution, which would be a bank. They would enter into our proposed development as a limited partner. In exchange for those credits, they would provide equity to build the facility. We would pair that up with a construction loan and a permanent loan that would make up the capital stack for the project. Really, in exchange for that, for those credits, we make promises, or we call them restrictions, really twofold. One is we promise only to rent to certain band of income. This property would actually be, it's measured on an annual household basis. So we could rent to folks on the low end of that band that make $15,000 annually from a household income perspective, all the way up to the higher end of the band, which would be $65,000 annually household income. So a nice wide range to serve a good segment of the population. And then the second really commitment that we make for the credits is for that population type, we would only charge them so much rent. Residents still pay their own rent, but we're restricted to the extent how much we can charge. So that's the program that we're working to pursue to finance this proposed development. Just to talk about the site briefly, is again, we're talking about this 5-acre site that would hold 60 multifamily housing units. We're very encouraged. We've got a third-party market study from Vote Insights that we'd be glad to share with whoever would like to see it. It does state that
and
this would.
Mr. Hall, we usually keep our comments to 5 minutes. You're at 4 minutes, just as a heads up.
Okay, great. I will talk quicker. Anyhow, it's we got a very favorable market study back that says this is a product that's needed in the community, and it would lease up in half the time a typical project would. I would just like to say, because we have 60 units, that gives us great scale to manage it very effectively. We have a property manager and maintenance professional on site during normal business hours to serve the residents. We're going to use American Structure Point as the engineer to make sure the site's properly engineered. So that's another piece. We will make sure that the site is properly lit from a security perspective. We'll have security cameras throughout the site that will have IP addresses able to share with local law enforcement. And then quickly on the timeline, we'd hope to start construction next summer, complete construction summer of 22, and then have a full vibrant building by the end of 2022. With that being said, again, we appreciate your consideration for rezoning the site. And
Thank you very much, Mr. Hall.
Thank you.
Any questions from the commission on this?
Where the house already is. Because
Gary here, you said you had a study. I don't know if you could send that to the staff, but I wouldn't mind seeing that market study.
Yes, absolutely. Tomorrow morning, I'll send it on over.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? With that, Ryan will pause for 1 minute for citizens' comments.
Okay, stand by. I'll let you know. Just a second.
sometimes it's just the way it goes. You don't have anybody come.
And we have no public comment on this item.
Thank you. Zach, if you'd call for the vote, please.
When I call your name, please signify your vote with approve or deny. Jackson Bogan.
Approve.
Larry Leverins.
Approve.
Ron Winger.
Approve.
Gary Schroeder.
Approve.
Jerry Reynolds.
Approve.
Greg Jones.
Approve.
Jake Gray.
Approve.
Diana Looper. Diana.
Approved.
And mark her as a, oh, thank you. Vicky Pearl.
Approved.
Michelle Dennis.
Approve.
Tom Murtaugh.
Approve.
Harry Brown.
Approve.
Tracy Brown.
Approve.
Carl Griffin.
Approve.
Lisa Dellum.
Approve.
Kathy Parker.
Approve.
Carlos Snodgrass.
Approve.
17 votes in favor. One final ballot. Please fill those out, and Don will let us know when he.
We have 17 responses, all for approval.
Thank you, Don. We have no administrative matters at this time. On to the approval of September Executive Committee agenda.
I move that the following request for variance from the Unified Zoning Ordinance is not a request for use variance prohibited from consideration by ordinance and statute. That's BZA 2042 Zern Vess.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
All opposed? That carries. Director's report. Ryan?
Sally should have something for you next month.
Excellent. Citizens' comments and grievances? I think we need to pause for 1 minute here as well.
Okay, stand by. And it looks like we have nothing further.
Okay, with that, Gary, we'll take that motion.
I move to adjourn.
So moved. Thank you all. Greatly appreciate it, staff. Great job again. Everybody appreciate the patience. Look forward to doing this in person someday. Have a good evening.
Thank
All right.
you. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.